back. You're listening to the GG Rated Live Show, and this is a very special edition for February the 28th. I'm actually on spring break, and I'm broadcasting live from Florida. And join with me again is everybody's favorite shoutcaster, EGIdra. How you doing?
Hello.
Also joining us again is Swedish super dude Sebastian. How you doing, my man?
Well, thank you, sir. I'm doing fine, though not as good as you, who's in Florida right now.
Yeah, enjoying the sun, warm weather, warm water. It's all good.
Just bad.
Good for you.
Keep in mind, let me just mention this. The size of the background today on the stream, it's different. It's smaller than it was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Not sure if you changed something, but it is smaller.
Yeah.
Maybe a way of...
I put it on lower quality just in case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is a good option. Yeah, just to make sure that the Florida
I'm not sure how
internet...
good the internet here is, so I don't want it to hitch up at the end.
Yeah, I think it's a good option. Spring break internet, it's not the same thing. Okay, let's go for it.
Well, all right, first topic. Do you guys want to talk about the GSL results for the past week?
No, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about why you, who's in Florida right now, just by the pool, you said earlier you were just improving your tan, why you're broadcasting to us as a super nerd when you could be out there having fun like a real person. How do you justify this, Iceman?
Dedication, my man. Dedication.
Dedication, and
gotta keep the show going. And if I didn't keep the show going, I'd have EGIdra here threatening me. You know?
StarCraft is just too good to not have in your daily life, isn't it?
True story.
He knows that the girls love the nerds, so he's just proving them that he's just fully 100% nerd. So after the show, they will be all like making a line in front of his door. It's going to be madness. So yeah, he's doing the right thing. It is the right option.
Oh, man.
Very well then.
Awesome. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, do you want to head into the GSL results for the past week?
Yes.
Well, unless you have some photos from spring break, well then yes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have any uploaded at hand, so...
GSL then.
GSL.
Let's go for it.
Sorry to let you guys down.
Yeah, too bad. I'll wait for some next week, maybe. Who knows? Yeah.
So, GSL. Thoughts, guys, because there must be plenty. All of them spelled epic.
Day one.
Way too much stuff to process, so I guess we'll just start with day one, eh?
All right.
Go for day one. Get us the results. Let us take a look at the results, and we just comment on them.
All right. I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Surprising, to say the least.
Well, let me just start with this. This first day was just awesome. I mean, I don't have anything against any of the players eliminated, as you might imagine, but it has several surprising results. And for me, it was a nice twist. It means that we might be having the most huge, big, hyped, up and down matches ever this month. Can you imagine something like IEM MVP versus Huck? It's going to be madness. But yeah, please go on.
Yeah. This group of death was definitely lived up to its name and its hype. And I think a lot more people are going to be shocked with the results. I know I was definitely shocked, especially after the predictions we had made last show. I'd say 50% of those predictions came true. Maybe that.
Do you guys watch the games from July against MVP? Those two matches?
Yes. That's the old July Zerg that I know and love. And I had feared I would never see him again, but then he goes out and just takes it down.
Yeah. What do you think, Sebastian? Sorry, EGIdra. Go ahead.
Well, just making a comment, what we've seen there from July, at least my opinion, my perspective is he went back to the classic Zerg style that, basically opened StarCraft 2 after the release. Baneling busts, 2-base play, and he basically caught IEM MVP offhand. I mean, on the first match, July Zerg was actually on his back foot, like, oh my god, I have to defend because I failed the first baneling bust wasn't as perfect as I expected, and then IEM MVP was able to resist it and just start pushing, and July Zerg was just holding back, just whoa, he's coming there, and then all of a sudden he had another chance, and he entered IEM MVP's base, and well, bye bye, just GG, just ruined his base, destroyed everything that moved on that place, and IEM MVP just lost it. I think those screens are from that match, aren't they? Let me take a look.
Yep, I have the videos up.
Yeah, but the quality today is lower than before, so it's kind of hard to see things properly. But just keep it safe. Let's keep it safe because of the internet.
Illustrate it for us, Hydra.
I'd rather see it like this than just have the stream crashing anyway. So as you can see, July Zerg just went there, Mutalisks flying all over the place, and now some Zerglings enter the base to back up those Mutalisks, and they're just destroying all the SCVs. IEM MVP on a desperation move, pulling all the workers out of the line and trying to defend, at least contain the movement long enough to get some units out, but well, as you can notice on the video, it just wasn't fast enough. The units from July Zerg were all over the place. Zerglings streaming down the map, coming down to IEM MVP base and just saying, hello, I'm going to ruin your base. And basically that's what's happening there. So IEM MVP got to a point where he said, this is useless. I can't do anything about this. And I think he was a bit in shock. I'm not sure. I know IEM MVP is a professional, so he doesn't take these things lightly, but I think he might be a bit overconfident. I'm not sure, obviously, I cannot read minds.
I'll tell you right now what was his downfall. You see that
ahead.
in the picture-in-picture? He has that shiny trophy right there. That was that was a bad omen. Shouldn't have done that. That's what caused his downfall. It was glistening in his eye.
Okay,
right,
so
let's go to match 2.
On match 2, something magical happened. Don't know how to call it. Things weren't going that perfect. As you can see there, IEM MVP has a nice wall off, and July Zerg just went for 2 base, Zergling, Baneling, and had a bunch of Zerglings and Banelings waiting outside on the Natural Expo. And all of a sudden, something tingled on July Zerg like a spider sense, something a sense on him start tingling and saying he's going to lift the barracks. And like a sixth sense. And the moment he arrived with the Banelings and Zerglings into that ramp to access the main base, IEM MVP was making a switch, lifting his barracks, and he just said, hello, I'm going to enter this place. And he even took his time to just get up on his booth, turn to IMVP and say, hey man, check out my golden mouth. You like it? Golden mouth here? Yeah? This is how you do it, and he did awesome. So I might, I don't know, I might make a comment saying that a bit of luck was involved, but there's no such thing as luck at this level of playing. But he had a really good sense of opportunity. He was on the right time at the right moment and just took advantage of it. Some other player might have just have a mental block, just freeze and not actually know what to do. But he reacted, he did what he had to do, and he killed IEM MVP. Also, keep in mind that July Zerg defeated MVP on 2 matches. It wasn't like a single fluke,
Yeah.
He actually did the same thing on 2 matches twice, and IEM MVP basically wasn't expecting it. So surprise, surprise. In my opinion, a good surprise. I don't have anything against IEM MVP. He's quite a solid Terran player, a huge monster playing this game. But, on this occasion, he wasn't up par with July Zerg, and July Zerg just showed us some old-school Zerg play.
Yeah.
You can never count out the God of War.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed.
I just don't think MVP was expecting him to do that. I mean, those builds were a little bit all-in-ish, and I don't think MVP was thinking that he was going to come with that. And he just caught him off perfect timing with those Banelings when the barracks lifted up. So it was exciting to say the least.
Yeah, that's seizing the moment, which is something that old schoolers, and I am MVP is an old schooler as well, but July Zerg has been in those situations before. There's like one of those Pimpus Plays videos when someone, a Terran, it could be Boxer, could be someone else, I can't remember, SCV rushes him, a bunker rush with SCVs back in Brood War, and July Zerg, like the baller he is, just takes all his drones and like 4 Zerglings and stomps the Terran opponent in a victory that shouldn't be possible. And he can just seize upon this better than most. He sees that little glimpse of an opening, the shard of an opportunity, and ruffle stomps through it.
Well put.
And, yeah, that's how it's done.
Well,
So,
I loved it. It was pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. What's next?
Any thoughts on July Zerg versus all GSMC? That match? I have a video of that.
Remind us. I watched so many GSL matches.
So did I.
So I find it difficult to remind me. Oh yes, here we go. Well, OGSMC took the first place coming out of that group, and July Zerg the second. So there's no shame in that. July, it made a valiant attempt. I can never figure out how to say that word.
Valiant. Yeah,
Valiant is the one. And then he gets stormed to hell. And I love that camera movement there, by the way. The GSL camera guy is so good. I love it. Thought OGSMC is really, really good.
Yeah, and he dominated on this match. As you can see, there's going to be a loop here. Notice that July Zerg even had Overlords loaded with Banelings, and he's going to make a drop right on top of the Stalkers, but still wasn't enough. Notice now, can you see the Overlords, all of them incoming, trying to bomb those?
Micro.
And the Corruptors coming in.
But just brilliant micro, pulling all of them back. Most of the Banelings still exploded, but wasn't enough. Yeah, and then those monster storms just grinding down all of the units from July. Well, there wasn't much for him to do there. It was just some solid Protoss play there. As you can see, he went all the way on the Stalkers. Look at the amount of Stalkers that he has there. And he was just brilliantly playing with them. So, no chance. No chance.
All right. You guys want to move on?
Yeah, let's go for the next one.
We got so much to go through. It's not fair. There's been so much epic stuff happening.
Way too much happened this week.
Yes. The San Zenith. I'm holding back.
Yeah, let me pull that picture up. But go ahead and start talking it if you want.
Are we there already, or are we following some sort of ridiculous schedule that's supposed to be chronological and ordered? Or are we just going straight to the amazingness that was San Zenith's group against?
Well, I put up Liquid'Jinro's group first, since
that's probably
want to talk about your Swedish Liquid boy.
All right, well, we'll just return to that hype a bit later then. Liquid'Jinro claiming the first place out of that group. Second place, Czech Prime. People who went down was Pole Prime and ST Rainbow, formerly known as Hope Torture, formerly known as Kick-Ass StarCraft 1 player.
Into the Rainbow, yeah.
Yes. And on the opposite side, in Group D, we have Nada, the Tornado Terran, thankfully making his way out of that group, as did Hongun Prime.
Yeah.
And, of course, Jinro and Nada, not being a Swedish fanboy or anything, Jinro and Nada were the favorites in these two groups, and they both got out of it first place. They played superiorly, and I do hope they encounter each other. Will they do that in the next group? Is it first place versus first place, or is it first versus second?
First versus second. The objective of getting first is, well, at least in theory, if you get first place, you're going to have an easier way on the next one, like you're going to meet the second place on the other group. But I don't know, you know that first and second on a tournament of this caliber, you're going to meet up with a really strong player anyway. So I guess we'll see what comes out of here.
Do we have any clips of any of the Jinro or Nada matches?
I don't believe so.
Good question. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I would just like to make a comment. I'm really happy to see Czech Prime passing. He kind of struggled on the previous GSLs. And for now he resisted. Let's see if he keeps hanging for the following matches. But always good. Always nice to see him play. The guy is one of the players that I actually enjoy watching play and find it fun to see him going on. Hopefully he's going to have some epic matchups coming on his way for the next round of matches.
Yeah, and I like Hongun too. I think he's a ballsy Protoss. I'm very happy to see him pass through. Though OGS Top is a bit of a favorite of mine. I know I always go on about how awesome it was to be a DreamHack and to hang out with the pro gamers, but it was, man. And I actually met OGS Top, and I liked the little guy. We had hamburgers, and I sad to see that he went down to, I think Hongen was the one who finally kicked him out. But yeah, good players all the way through, and of course Liquid'Jinro truly showing that he is so strong. He's up there with the best Koreans. Of course, he took down IEDRA in the 4-2 in that show match. That was the launch event of the North American Star League, and he just showed that he's so solid. He can push slowly and steadily like a meat grinder. He is a very formidable talent. No gimmicks, just straight up play, which is the hardest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Other than trying to remember exactly what went on in those games, which I can't really do. I think it was on Crevasse and I had an nerdgasm, but more specific than that, I can't be. So unless you guys can reminisce for us, I think we should move on to the next set of groups.
Yeah.
Just one thing to say about Crevasse. I think that's my new favorite map.
Yes,
just my opinion.
I love it too. Though Terminus and Crevasse, they are tied for first for me.
Okay.
They're both really good.
Let me just mention a thing here to Jonathan. I think it might help you. Jonathan, do you see the results for the next one, the ones that we took from Team Liquid? Do you see the NSHO Seo Sun? It's the third one on the list. Do you see the results?
Let me see here.
Take a look at it. And you can even put them on the stream, obviously. People can take a look. It's from Group 3.
Group 3?
Yeah. Do you see where it says results? And then IMNST versus NSHOCO Sun?
I think I'm looking at the wrong link. Just give me the link.
Second page of the document. Document. Right on the top.
Oh, yeah. That one?
Do you see it?
Yeah, I can just put that up.
That San guy is San Zenith. He just doesn't use that name anymore.
Oh.
I didn't save that image into the queue. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Well, try getting it there. See if you can have it up or not.
Let me get it real quick.
Okay. Well, anyway, the third group, not the third group, the day 3 groups had some big surprises as well. I wasn't as happy about these surprises as I was from the ones in day 1, maybe because I'm a fan of July Zerg. But we saw a star on the rise, didn't we, Sebastian? Huh? Sun Zenith is now not using this name. He's on that new team that showed up, NSH Hoseo Sun. So instead of San Zenith, you can only see that. And I guess you're going to see it pretty soon on the screen on the stream. But the guy was just godlike.
Yeah, got it up.
And screw whatever he's calling himself now. He is San Zenith to me, and I'm trying to figure out a good joke to use with the word Zenith and a sun peaking and being all glimmery and stuff, but I can't. So let me just say, he rocked our world. San Zenith, apparently, as it was told in some interview, is not, or wasn't until this happened at least, an actual pro gamer. He played this for fun. Meaning that he's not sponsored, he's not getting a salary, he doesn't live with genuine pro gamers practicing 10 hours a day. He's going to the army soon, which is, of course, mandatory in Korea since they're officially at state of war with North Korea, but let's not get into that. You have to go to the army, and he's doing that soon. He just do this for kicks. And he kicked Slayer's Boxer and Nesty down. Huge. Nesty to the up and down matches, Boxer all the way to hell. He deployed motherships against Nesty on Shakura's plateau and won.
Not only did he deploy them, but he used them effectively.
Yes. He solved the matchup. He jumped into 2013 in the meta game like that. And he didn't school Nesty as I mean, it was a long, drawn-out, even kind of game, but Sansenev just had the upper hand, and he took down a former GSL master in a very convincing fashion, and then made sure to stomp on Boxer on his way out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something
Just the way he played was just perfect. Everything he did was the correct response for what Nesty was doing, and he just played excellently. And this is pretty surprising because if I remember correctly, last season or previously, he was the brunt of everybody's jokes. I mean, everybody was just ripping on this kid. He's not going to go anywhere, blah, 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 blah. And now look at him now, just besting some of the biggest names in the game.
Yeah, this guy in the past was one of the main targets of Tastosis, of Tasteless and Artosis, along with Bit by Bit Prime and a couple of other guys. They were just like the ones to make fun of, I guess, in a way. But like Artosis mentioned when he was watching these games, you finally see San Zenith coming out of those 10-minute matches that they will never, ever go beyond those 10, 12-minute matches. Will never go beyond that because he doesn't have the capability to keep going, keep macroing, just focus a bit longer and keep insisting you're going to get the win. He will never get to that position. And now we see him on long macro games, keeping solid, keep expanding, all of his macro game in check, just keeping everything in tabs and know exactly what to do next. Nothing was stopped, nothing was on hold, and meanwhile he was just having the battles, like the guy is microing and macroing at the same time, and obviously that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then comes the motherships.
Yeah, and also coming out like Sebastian was mentioning, coming out of a guy that is studying, is going to have military soon, and well, as you might imagine, he's not practicing this game as intensively as other pro gamers. So seeing him actually facing against Nesty and Boxer and take them, it was impressive. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
and I thought it was really cool after he won. He just rushed out of the booth, ran to his couple of friends in the crowd, looked like a couple scrawny nerds who were there to support him, and he was just elated. So it's great to see him happy and celebrating with his couple of friends there in the auditorium or whatever. But real happy for him. It was amazing results.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Also, as you guys can see there on the results, he ended up first on the group, with Nesty and Boxer just getting kicked to the bottom. So him and Ensnare took the group and gonna move on. So it was quite of a shocker. But I mean, it's just a way of shaking the pillars of what's already established and a sign that there's still a lot of upcoming stars to StarCraft 2. So also a sign of the dynamics that the game has currently. I mean, it's not like a stale game and you have like 5 guys dominating the scene. And occasionally a Sun Zenith popping out or a ST Squirtle, and they actually show us that they might be on the verge of taking dominance or at least getting to the same level as other guys. So yeah.
And there will be motherships around. We know that too now.
Yeah. And Snare played well, so they can't take anything away from him as well. He played really well and solid. So it's a deserved wins for those players.
Even though I'm so sad to see the Emperor go. But yeah.
Well, he'll be back most likely. We hope.
What about next one now? Where shall we go? Talking about some code days, some code S. Am I missing? I think I might be missing a day, right or not?
Yeah.
Well, we
didn't have all the brackets up in the VODs, but
we missed how Hader got kicked out of the GSL again in a very depressing game where he couldn't find his escape key and lost about 2,000 minerals in hatcheries that should have been cancelled when attacked.
Yeah, let me put that up, the Group A.
And that was just terrible for my Swedish heart to see.
But I mean,
we're supposed to be economically minded up here, but Hader is just a waster.
Hey, Pro? Yeah, that was... I don't know what he was not paying attention to his hatcheries whatsoever in that one match.
I would just like to make a comment on Hey Pro, then we'll go for the rest. But you guys keep in mind, I remember Hey Pro from the time he took wins in DreamHack. Wasn't one, was several wins in DreamHack.
Yeah,
and he was really solid. I'm pretty sure that guy is still there still exists. It's the same guy. The problem is there's something going wrong. I don't know if it's with his practice partners, with his schedule, with the way he organizes his life in Korea, because he's living with the same guys, Jinro, Rhett, Huck, but from all of those, he's probably the one getting the worst results. I mean, they're living on the same house, they have the same guys there. There's something going wrong personally for him, or at least he's not being able to stabilize his game. Might be something related with the fact that he's on the soundproof booth. As we all know, I mean, it's really different from me sitting here and playing online on the ladder or on an online tournament than actually sitting on that place with the cameras pointing at me and me knowing that there's a crowd outside. I'm actually not sure exactly what's going on with HeyPro, but something is going on, and he still didn't mention it. He didn't said anything about it, because his teammates, his colleagues, better or worse, they're actually doing something. I mean, Rhett has some nice results, Jinro has some huge results, in my modest opinion, and Huck just popped out, had a bit of a show of himself, and let's see if he keeps going on. But at the moment, HeyPro is the one that is disappointing me more, and I would like to see more of him. Sebastian, what do you think about this?
Well, you're totally right there, Hydra. And if I may say so, I don't know the circumstances as to why HeyPro is not doing so well, as he clearly has shown that he has the potential to do so. Liquid did not just pick him to go to Korea out of a whim or out of being nice. He has some real credentials from the Brood War era. He used to kick ass. And maybe Korea isn't right for him. Maybe the circumstances just aren't, far away from friends and family. And when I talk to like Huck and Jinro when interviewing them during the past couple of months, it's very clear that you only play StarCraft doing there. That's your entire life, and you don't get to do much else whatsoever. Yeah. And I think some people can cope with that well, like Jinro obviously is able to, and others. But I mean, it's nothing detrimental to say that perhaps another environment would suit him better, like say TLO has done. And I think maybe HeyPro should look for a European alternative. And we are seeing such things happen. We have the NASL, and I know something I can't really reveal on stream even to all 7 of our viewers, but soon there will be a much stronger presence, not just in Europe, but actually based in Sweden, with some big names and some something very big will happen soon. It will be unveiled soon.
Cool. And I'm waiting for it.
Yes, it should be nothing less than extraordinary, and it has something to do with the messages TLO has been sending out on Facebook, I can say that much. And maybe HeyPro should look into a return to Europe when the scene allows someone of his skill, because there he could really shine. Nothing wrong about HeyPro, it's just he might need another setting to really own the way he is able to.
Possible, quite possible. Let me just add a comment. When I was watching the VODs from the GSL this week, when one of the VODs they were interviewing Jinro, and he made a very brief comment saying, "My Korean teacher." I think that he's integrating himself on that society fairly well, or if he isn't, he's putting the effort trying to get as much a costume to all of the environment around him as possible, because he's getting to the point where he's actually learning Korean, and he even said, "Oh, wait, I had these words in Korean memorized to thank my fans, and I forgot them. My teacher told me that, and I forgot them." I remember him making that comment. That's a sign that he might be feeling comfortable there and just saying, "I'm going to go for it. I'm going to stay here, do my best," and maybe HeyPro is not on that level yet. I'm not sure if he's going to head back into Europe, or if he's considering NASL, or even that big, massive event that Sebastian was mentioning in Sweden. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see in the future. That's it.
Good luck, HeyPro.
Yeah,
that's
wish him the best.
Okay, just some short comments on this group as well. As you can see, Lenok once again just dominated over Slayer's Yu-Gi-Oh! And the big, massive superstar from Warcraft 3, Fox Moon, got dominated once more. Not sure what to say about the guy. I know he's good, or he was good at Warcraft 3, but apparently he's still not on par. As T-Virus, Startail Virus just took the win, took the final victory, and well, Fox Moon is once again stuck battling for a spot on Code A.
It's sad. I want to see Warcraft 3 pros up there because I think that would give another nuance to the game.
Yeah.
So it's just, a pity.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, next group.
Let me pull it up.
And you have some stuff out there for us?
Sure do. Here we go.
Show me, because I don't remember the results from the top of my head. I'm just getting really senile. Old age does this.
Squirtle's
too much
here.
awesomeness. Yeah, Squirtle, who was so impressive.
What happened?
Was not impressive.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
But let me mention that I did watch Supernova versus Squirtle. Yeah, well, Squirtle kind of got owned. But on this group, what really surprised me was seeing just Moonglade choking on that booth.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up.
And he got really humiliated as well.
Yeah, he got destroyed.
Yeah,
you could just see in his control of his units just complete lack of focus, it seemed like, letting his Banelings get killed easily, his just wasting lings here and there.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see how he played. I thought he was going to do a lot better, but I know he's a good player. I've watched many of his VODs and matches before, and I think he was just unsettled from the booth and the environment and new experience for him. But I don't know. It was pretty one-sided, to say it kindly.
Yeah, let me just add this, then I'll pass for Sebastian to make a comment on it. I did watch the Moonglade games, and I recall seeing some situations where he had Banelings with no speed, just standard normal Banelings running after Hellions, and the Hellions just, okay, micro, burn. He just lost all his Banelings doing that. I think he was just kind of shell-shocked inside that soundproof booth, and he just wasn't used to that environment.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been following Moonglade. I'm not exactly know where he is, if he's decided to stay in Korea, if he's going to head back to Australia and get back later on to try his luck once more on another situation. But if he had the chance, he should consider staying in Korea, because apparently he needs a change on his environment. Because if he keeps like this, I mean, he will never take a game on the GSL, on Code A, Code S, anything. I mean, the guy was really stressed there. He might not show that, but he was nervous, stressed, making wrong decisions, and I'm sure that Moonglade is a lot better than what he showed us on that matchup. Yeah, Sebastian.
Yes, I can only concur, and I think you also have to say that there is something called the GSL foreigner choke. The first time you go there, you're more or less doomed to suck. And Jinro, he didn't. He did very well his first time, comparatively. EGIdra, of course, he'd been there for a long while, and it's the way it's done. Apparently, when you come there the first time, you are not situated for it. I hope Moonglade will persevere, and when I saw his opponent build those bad manner command centers outside his base, I thought, you'll do it next time, Aussie boy. This will not be the end of you. And I really hope that's the case. And building on from that, I had an interview with QXC on my channel on Friday. And of course, QXC, a very renowned pro gamer who a year ago was nobody, he will go to Korea this summer. He has vowed to do so. And we will need some inspiring examples. Like now we have Huck and Jinro leading the charge out there. We need more people. We need to show that it's possible to do it, and that you can come to the GSL with your existing skills and just play. I think there's a lot of pressure and like now I'm entering the grand stage. Previously I've only been playing in the StarCraft equivalent of Minnesota. Now I'm on Broadway. That's kind of scary. We need to show that it's just another game with fancier lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Josh Sutt has joined the channel, the fancy commentator. Hello, Josh, and please do give us a tweet if you like what we're saying. It would be very appreciated. Hi there.
Shout-outs to Josh. How's it going, my man? Good to see you in the channel.
Okay.
I just one more thing I had to say about Fox Moon, Moonglade, FXO Moonglade. Sorry, I think it's going to really benefit him if he does stay in Korea, like Hydra was saying, and especially I know that he was practicing on the Australian servers, if I'm correct, right? And they're notorious for being not so great. So hopefully, if he stays, being in a better practice environment, he'll get a lot better. Because I know he has plenty of skill to showcase, and I think he just choked. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's going to stay and give it another shot. We'll see.
The only issue I'm considering now, but obviously I don't have any information about it. Maybe I should research a little bit. As you might imagine, he might need some kind of sponsorship to stay there. So someone probably will have to back him up financially. Like, he might even make the decision saying, okay, I want to stay here. I will stay here for the next couple of months, or 3 or 4 or 6 months, doesn't matter. But obviously there's an economic side to that. And unless he has money on the side set for that, he's probably going to have to head back to Australia. And to me, from what I saw in that booth, I would say that for him to actually do good, he's going to have to stay there. He cannot keep hopping back and forth, Australia, Korea, just to try the event, because he's going to keep failing, unfortunately. And I actually like the guy. I already seen some matches of him on the CEA, and he was solid. So I just think he got some shell shock from that soundproof booth, and he needs more practice, more experience in it. Okay, so what's next?
Do you guys want to talk about TSL?
What about our friend Liquid Rat? Where is he?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Let me pull that up.
I'm just sad, disappointed.
Yeah, here we go.
That monster of that
I actually didn't watch any of these games since they just came out today, and I was out at the pool all morning, so I have to throw it over to you, Sebastian.
Well, I have tried to speed watch all the GSL games this past weekend because A, it's awesome and I'm a huge nerd, and B, I want to be able to talk about it. So I haven't catched every game, but I made sure to watch all the important ones, and whenever there's a foreigner involved, of course, that's it. So let's skip straight to that action and not hear a single F word about all the others. Slayers M, of course, a part of Slayers Boxer's hand-picked clan of players. A clan that has yet to really prove itself, but since the Emperor, the Terran Emperor, Lim Yu won, Slayers Boxer is, the Emperor of it all. All of these players must have something. We can deduce that much from it. He faced Liquid Rat, a Zerg from the Netherlands, who won the Assembly LAN in Finland just a couple of weeks ago, and who's been to Korea before in the Brood War era, and now is back to claim revenge, because he didn't do that well then. It's not the first time he competes in the GSL, and now he's here again. He played Slayers M, and first game, can't remember what map it was on. Second was on Tel Darim Altar. And, to put it plainly, folks, Ret got schooled, and that is just so sad.
That is sad.
It is sad, because Ret, he is not only a very good Zerg, he's the best kind of Zerg, the one that plays the race the way it should be played, both technically and mythologically. He's the heart of the swarm. He macros like a beast. No, sorry, the first game was on Crevasse, and it was an epic game. You guys should really watch it, because Ret, he almost had it. But Slayers M, he was a superior player, and I'm getting notifications that the sound is mixing it up, but I'm not going to care. I'm just going to keep on talking about the fact that Liquid Rat, he plays the macro style to its fullest capacity. He cheats in drones everywhere. He's very greedy, but he's also very good at being greedy. And he almost had it again. He was dropped and harassed continuously, but there was this epic struggle in the middle of Crevasse, which is such a great map again. And he had his Broodlords hanging over the tank line of Slayers M. And, there was this time that when he went after the Marines that had been scattered away from the tank group, if he had focused on the tanks instead of following the Marines, he would have won that game. It was so close. And Keltosis, that's of course Kelly and Artosis together, they were nerdgasming themselves over this when it happened. It was so close that Red claimed that game. And we're getting some feedback here in the background, but let's just stick to how close it was that we had yet another foreigner in the round of 16. Liquid Red went out. That is so sad. And over to you, Roger.
Yeah, well, I would just like to make a mention because apparently the sound is a bit messed up and there's no need to annoy anyone. You guys want to try just make the call again really fast just to make sure it's not anything related with Skype? Might be a good idea. I mean, it takes like
the call.
Yeah, it takes like 10 seconds and it will hurt less than having people just put up with this for the next 30 minutes. Just go for it, it's fine. Now, I can still hear some static on one of you guys.
Might be me. I'll just mute myself.
It's you. But listen, Jonathan, you know what you have to do. That happened the last time as well. You need to restart Skype again. We need to try it again, I guess. This happened the previous time, remember? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it has to do with my internet quality here.
Okay, well, just keep it flowing then. Let's go. Well, let's finish it up. Let's wrap it up. We're doing fine.
Shall we pretend as if it never happened?
Yeah, just keep going.
Well, I was just doing a very long monologue about how awesome that series was and how awesome that series was and how sad it is that it didn't turn out better.
Well, for me, I would like to just make some short comments on it. Obviously, I'm sad about Red because Red, like Sebastian was mentioning, he has the right mentality, that hive mentality of Zerg, just keep grabbing as much as you can and just macro like a monster and trample your opponent based on the fact that you just have way too many units and your opponent can't resist the pressure. The problem is that occasionally he gets too greedy. I already seen that happening. It happens with other players, but he has that tendency. Occasionally that happens because, well, it's a bit related with his style. I think that sometimes he just takes too many risks and decides, I'm going to go for another base, for another expo, and things don't go quite well. Still, I didn't watch these games yet. I got to sit down tonight and take a look at the VODs. Other comments I would like to make is, first of all, once again, Maka Prime gets owned. Maka Prime got from like a big reference from GSL 1, and everyone revered the guy, and now he's going plummeting down all the way. And this time he lost against MVP Noblesse. Okay, a bit awkward, I wasn't expecting that. And the last comment on this group for me would be about TSL Killer, who now has this name, but you guys might recall him being called Sung-Ho by Artoses and Tasteless. He's their friend, and he's quite a solid player, has a big background behind him, and he took the win here close 2-1, but hopefully we might be seeing more of this guy in the future. As far as I heard, he is pretty solid, but the problem is that coming from Tasteless and Artoses might be another Clyde, who knows? And Clyde is good, but not as good as they mentioned, that's all.
Not the greatest player in the world.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He is a solid player, but not as high profiled as they put it. But I think that Sung-Ho is pretty solid. I guess we're going to see more of him. Okay, what's next now?
You want to jump into the TSL? Just talk about the results real quick?
Yeah, sure. Shoot it.
Alright, let me just throw it up here. I actually didn't get to see hardly any of the games. I think I caught maybe a few games of the semifinals, but that was about it.
Yeah, well, the semifinals.
I did watch some of the matches. I did watch some. I'm sorry, I was just saying that I did watch some of the matches. Oh, it's really blurry, kind of hard to read.
I have a bad shot of it, and the stream quality is really low. I had to turn it down because of the internet is real bad over here, so
anyway,
I didn't want to have any more issues with the sound.
I can mention here, I have the original document here, and I can take a look at it. It's easier, obviously. This Open from TSL was fairly strong, had some very interesting players, most of them from the North American server, but one guy just came out of that group, of that pile of players. Hasu Hobbs was just solid all the way. The whole event, the whole TSL Open, he kept bashing on and on and on. And on the finals, he just trampled. He was perfect. Brilliant execution. He played quite well, in my modest opinion. There was no opposition to his victory in the finals, and well, it ended up being a 3-0. So I guess that just reflects what I was just commenting on just now.
Sebastian, you said you watched some of the games.
Yes, I managed to glance here and there, and I always try to catch games with Bratok. And whenever I get the chance to say his name, I want to say it the proper way, Bratok. Because American casters, they just get it wrong. He's not Brad OK, he's Bratok, which means something akin to like a little gangster kid or like sort of mischievous little one or something like that in Russian. And he's just a Terran machine. He's been to DreamHack several times. He's, of course, stayed on top of the, at least outside of Korea, the global rankings, as he did in Brood War. And he's just fun to watch. He's like the Russian bear clad in mech. And I always try to catch some of his games. And let's see here. He played in the round of 8 against an American Zerg called Vibe. And I did see him lose that series, of course, and that was very disappointing. That was on Shakura's Plateau, another very good map, and usually Bratok's macro is a feast to enjoy. I mean, you can see some, compared to Korean Terrans, some weaknesses perhaps, but usually but through sheer force, he manages to stomp through. So I do remember watching that series and being sad. And I also caught a bit of Sok versus McLeod, who went down to Hasu in the final. Sok, of course, being a German Protoss who's, I believe, competing in the IEM Championships this week, and he's quite fearsome. Yet he went down to that Canadian Terran. Those were some of my favorites, and I was really cheering for those guys. Those on Shakura's Plateau as well. Just that was a pity.
Well, I would just like to add up to what Sebastian is saying, that I think that Sok is still traumatized after getting a proxy hatched by Action Jesus. He isn't the same player. He's just shocked.
I remember watching that. That was awesome.
He's going to come out a stronger and bigger man out of this, obviously, but it will be later on. It takes some time to just process the fact that someone made a hatchery close to him and actually win the game with that. So I guess he's just a bit traumatized and the nightmares haven't been gone yet. So just McLeod just took over him and went to the finals to face Hasu Hobbs, and then Hasu Hobbs trampled him, basically, and it was over. A sign that Hasu Hobbs was really good, by the way, and played really well, just perfect playing from what I recall watching on the finals. And McLeod needs to improve a bit more. He needs more practice. Still props for McLeod, obviously, because getting to the finals isn't easy, and he had to face several really solid players. So probably in the future we might hear more of McLeod.
Truly. I never heard of him before, so...
Yeah, neither did I.
There can be only one and that.
Yeah, but you know how these things work, right? You never hear of the guy today. It happens a bit in Korea. You never hear of the guy today, and now next week he's on Prime and OGS and IEM and stuff like that.
Good example, you never Squirtle in the team league.
Yeah.
There's no business like show business.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess we're gonna wait and see if McLeod is the real thing or it was just one shot that he had there and he was just playing for fun and got lucky. But I don't think that's the case. I don't know the guy, but he apparently is solid enough to just withstand the pressure of playing against all those big names. So good for him. Okay, what's next now?
Shall we move on to the IEM World Championships? Groups complete?
I would just like to mention the groups, just show the groups to people, because there's some interesting players there. I'm a bit disappointed with the ones that actually are going to be showing up from Korea, but I mean, you can perform miracles. Actually, having some guys from Korea is nice enough. And I'm always a big fan of clashes between players from different servers, players that usually don't meet up. I like to see them clashing against each other. So when you actually have the chance to grab a couple of Koreans and bring them to play Europeans and North Americans, has to be good. It has to be fun. So you have the groups there. Can you show them on the stream? Yeah, there it is.
The world's best.
You got it. It's just really bad. Let me just. I think I have it here. Well, it's basically two groups. On Group A, you're gonna have QXC, Solid Terran, Moro, White-Ra, Tarson, EGIdra, and Ace with Startail Ace, Korean guy. What you guys think about this group? I mean, for me, EGIdra is solid, obviously. Like it or not, being a fan or a hater, the guy is solid. And I would actually like to see him facing QXC for some reason, and I would like to see EGIdra facing White-Ra.
Oh,
think that's
EGIdra, White-Ra.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Yeah, Grandpa Toss, the Beast from the East.
Beast from the East.
Facing against Michael Graxton, Gracosaurus Rex. Will be cool. It has to be good. What you guys think about this group?
Go for it, Sebastian.
I really hope the Gracosaurus gets extinct. In all fairness, it will be quite splendid to watch. We have a few real beasts. I really look forward to see how QXC will do on the big stage because, I wouldn't say we're close friends, but I've been interviewing him 3 times on my channel now, and I remember just before the StarCraft 2 beta came out, me and In Control did a little mini tournament kind of thing called the Dark Horse Tournament. It was before Gosu Coaching was launched, and it was the prototype for Gosu Coaching. It was his students fighting it out, and QXC won it all. So that was the prodigy interview, I call that. And now, well, he's up there with the very best, so I'm rooting for him, but I haven't seen him play like on a stage or anything like it in a while, so I'm rooting for him out of fanboyness. Then we have Moro, who is clearly a fearsome foe, and he will be involved in that thing I can't really talk about. We will be closely involved in that in April, and of course he is to be feared. White-Ra, nothing less than so, and if he gets to face EGIdra, we will see the Kraken be truly punished again, because to be honest, I think that EGIdra is becoming more and more predictable for every show match we see. It's not like he is owning the house anymore, and I see a ruffle stomping coming up. So that's that.
Big words.
I guess that's
Big
an
words.
opinion. Yeah,
that's an opinion. Yeah, I'm not a truth sayer. I am.
Of course.
Just a dedicated nerd, but I just don't see it in EGIdra anymore when put against such opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another question. What about, in your opinion, both of you guys, Moro and Tarson getting the short end of the stick, meaning that they're going to struggle a lot, they're going to have a lot of trouble facing the other guys. I don't even predict a really good future for Startail Ace on that group for some reason. I think that if the Korean Startail Ace face White-Ra, it's going to be a pretty awesome match. I actually have a lot of interest on watching QXC. I know he's been focusing a lot on his studies, and he even made a comment, we already talked about this on another GG Rated, that he was just waiting for his university to finish so he can commit himself to StarCraft 2 and probably consider a move to the Korean house, to the GOM TV house. But I would like to see him facing a Korean based on the fact that he's at least expecting going there. Who do you guys think is going to get the lower spots? They're going to be like the underdogs on this Group A. For me, Tarson and Moro, in my modest opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
I was actually hoping Tarson was going to do good. So.
Well, I can't predict the future like Sebastian was saying, so it's just my opinion, worth nothing. But still, it's my opinion, and I guess we're going to see when things come up.
I was actually thinking Ace and Marl would get the short end of the stick, and possibly EGIdra as well.
Okay.
I think EGIdra's just falling apart, as Sebastian was saying. Not really falling apart, but more predictable. He doesn't want to change his play no matter what. He's going to go for those macro games, and we're not going to see any deviation from his plan other than that 1x6 pool. But yeah,
which he lost.
Yeah, exactly. He lost anyways.
You'll never know. You'll never know. Tomorrow, evil geniuses might recruit Action Jesus, and they just team up. You'll never know. And they take ideas from each other. You know how things work. So yeah.
We can only hope. We can
yeah.
only hope for that.
Okay, Sebastian.
yeah, that's my
what about
opinion.
you?
Obviously, I don't think EGIdra will make it very far, and I'd like to concur that Ace will have a tough time simply because he will be the one in a foreign and alien setting, and that matters. At DreamHack, the Koreans, one of them, I think it was Top, he took 4th place when he should have won it all. And jet lag is part of it as well. If you play comfortably in your own cultural sphere and you got a good vibe going, you know the language, you have an advantage. And Ace, he will be out of that comfort zone. He will suffer from it. And Phoenix in Group B, and is it Squirtle down there as well, or is that another Squirtle?
It is. STC.
Not Squirtle.
Yeah.
It goes for all of them, and even Moonglade, he will be jet lagged. I mean, maybe that's less of a factor, but those who come from close by, and that includes QXC, because he lives in Madrid these days, and he was actually broadcasting to me from Budapest, where he was visiting his girlfriend. He won't have any of that. So all people situated in Europe will have an advantage, a considerable one.
No, possible.
And Zaxor, LOL, made the comment earlier in the chat. He wanted to see FXO Moon versus Fox Moon, and looks like he's going to get to see some of that.
Yeah,
that
quite
would
possible.
be very
But
nice,
you know, ZVZ is really
circus.
volatile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
in
go
my
ahead,
opinion,
Sebastian, go.
It's pretty boring, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's boring unless you see two different styles clash. Then it gets interesting.
I actually like it. I actually like it. The problem is all of that Zergling, Zergling thing that lasts 6 minutes. That's the only issue. The players need to get out of that and just evolve the game to some others. I don't know, another step of evolution. I guess we're going to see that eventually. One thing I would like to ask both of you is, for me, there's actually a Group A and a Group B, like in status. Like Group B seems weaker than Group A to me, for some reason. I mean, okay, Phoenix, is he solid? Yeah, he is, but you don't see that much of him. He shows up on the North American scene, and he doesn't go very far beyond that. Moonglade, as you guys seen with those results on GSL, he might be in trouble.
Moonglade is a strong player outside of what we saw in GSL, so...
Yeah, but the issue is that, like Sebastian was saying, I don't know if he's coming from Korea or Australia, but any of those places, I mean, he's going to be jet-lagged and tired and all of that. And then you're going to have... I think you're going to end up having Sok and Sho.
Sake and Sho are both strong, but it's obviously the strongest in the group.
Okay, Sebastian, tell me one thing. What do you think? I think that Group B is actually weaker, in theory, obviously, than Group A. Like, just reading the names. What do you think?
Somewhat, but that is... And yeah, I agree with you, but it is subjectively so. Only on paper, you would have to get really statistical about who's won the most. But like Phoenix, he did very well at DreamHack again in a fairly foreign setting, and we should fear Moonglade again on paper, disregarding what we saw the other day. Soke, a very fearsome toss. Moon, obviously, again, he went out in GSL, but isn't he the 5th race or something in Warcraft 3? I agree with you. It seems weaker, but that is because our memories are fickle and we tend to favor some players out of like fanboyism. Go QXC. So we don't know shit, really. It just might go the other way.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Final bit. Let's go for the final stretch and wrap this up.
You want to talk about the show match, the great show match?
Just comment a bit on EGIdra versus Jinro, and from there make a couple of comments on NASL, and that's it. Who wants to start this one?
Let's throw this over to Sebastian first, since I know he has plenty he wants to get off his chest about this.
Sebastian has spring break in Sweden as well. Come on, let's go.
Sadly, I'm not at school anymore, which of course makes a bit of a difference. Though I will be soon, but that is neither here nor there. Here you have the Kraken clash with the Gorilla Terran. This is, of course, the launch event that took place on 21st. I think that was a Tuesday. It was last week. I know that much, and I was totally unable to watch it because the stream lagged like hell. But being the true nerd I am, I came back the day later. I stayed completely out of the StarCraft 2 interweb so I wouldn't get it spoiled and watched it afterwards. And it was a pre-recorded event where Jinro and IEDra played each other. And then it was casted by Gretorp and In Control himself, who is more or less, perhaps not the boss, but definitely the head manager of NASL TV, the North American Star League, and it was a fearsome fight. I'm going to spoil it all for you, but I'm sure you watched it, all 13 of you viewers. You really should have. Jinrolled IEDra in a 4-2 fashion, and it was a convincing fashion. I remember the last game at Crevasse, where Jinro did that steady meat grinder push, which seems almost impenetrable. And IEDra, well, he got beaten back. He was definitely on the losing end, but then he left. He could have stayed on. He might have, at least if he decided to be a bit ingenuous and imaginative, he could have claimed that game. He could have given us a really epic fight. But somehow IEDra just lost his spirits and left during the final battle. And it was a great series, and I think In Control and Gretorp did a good job. It was a completely new thing, and they had a bit of an elaborate production, which didn't work out totally fantastical, but I forgive them. It was the first try, and I am sure North American Star League will be an epic event, which we'll talk more about in future broadcasts. But this show match, it was really cool to watch, and it also confirmed to me again that IEDra, he has had his time unless he chooses to evolve. And I've been talking a really long time now. Over to you guys.
All right, why don't we go through all the
IceMan.
games real quick? Hydra, you can just give us the rundown on the games, and then I have some comments I want to make afterwards.
Well, I'm going to just make a fairly simple comment, going to keep it basic and simple and short. From all those matches, the ones that I really enjoyed was the 5th and the 6th one. The other ones, yeah, they were okay matches. We all already seen a lot better on other events, on smaller events, at least based on the viewer base. And obviously the hype helped a lot, and those two players are really high profiled. But what can I say? I felt like I already seen better and I was expecting more. Maybe it's related with the fact that they hyped it so much. It's my personal opinion, obviously. Still, was interesting, a nice matchup. I really enjoyed the final battles on those 5th and 6th matches because it was getting really close to the end, and I guess the players were feeling a bit of the pressure. A thing that I would like to mention is that I enjoyed the insight that the casters were giving to us, Gretorp and In Control, but Gretorp needs to raise his voice a little bit. He was just going really low.
Gretorp has about as much charisma as a lampshade, and that needs to change if he's going to be the dedicated caster for NASL.
It just needs to I mean, it's not practice. He has game knowledge. It's just the way he flows and the way he comments, the tone of voice needs to be a bit higher. Yep. I would be able to hear him easily. I mean, I listen to all the casters with no issues whatsoever. I mean, only if it's like a really, really strange and bad one. But that doesn't happen that often. I don't have any issues with Gretorp as well. I'm just saying that if he starts raising a bit more and feeling a bit like at least showing a bit more excitement, things will work good. And In Control was fine. I mean, he was just being himself. He threw a couple of jokes, did his comments. Yeah, it was good. A thing that I disliked, and I checked a lot of people commenting on it, was the fact that in certain moments you had like the casters commenting on an event that it's already gone like 10 seconds ago. So
Yeah.
the comment wasn't actually properly synchronized with the video. Still was viewable. I watched the whole thing. Yes, I had problems with lag, just like Sebastian mentioned. So I had to lower the resolution and do some F5, some refresh, and all of that. But I watched the matches, and well, it worked out being a nice event with a huge viewer base, but I'm expecting more for NASL TV. I hope this was the alpha stage, and then you're going to get the beta stage, and then you're going to have the official release. For the alpha stage, it was decent. So let's get some more up. Let's shape it up, get a couple of notches up on that production, and it will be awesome. It will be awesome. Now, on the game, I'm still not very convinced on that EGIdra is long gone and he keeps macroing and he doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't evolve his game. I honestly think he's going to sit down and probably consider his options, and we probably might see something coming out of him. Maybe not only macro games. We do know that he has that tendency, and it suits him and it suits Erg. It's fine. I don't have any complaint about that. But I think he's capable of doing other things. And I mean, we're not talking about someone 80 years old. The guy's really young, so he's good to adapt and evolve if he's willing to. If he's not willing to, I don't know, maybe next year EGIdra won't be existing anymore on the tournament scene, but I doubt it. I think he has what it takes to keep strong and stay strong on the scene.
I hope
Sebastian,
he does.
anything to add?
Yeah, I have something to add.
Go.
Well, game one, I thought EGIdra started off really strong. He had overlords, lings, everything, scouting all the back passageways to his expansion. And in the beginning, I was watching with my buddy, and I was just thinking, wow, EGIdra's got this. He's playing perfect. He's got great meter control, great vision of everything. And then, I don't know what happened. Jinro got up his third at the gold and just Jin-rolled. And I think from there, the hinges came off a bit on EGIdra, and he started the slow slope to tilting because he was playing solid, and then I think that just got to him that he lost that first match. Then the second match was just a quick over and done, if I remember correctly. And the middle matches were pretty boring. I didn't like them at all. It was... First game was good, and then the fifth and sixth games were good. But also that one match where he was going to do the roach drop, he had all the roaches and the overlords at the end, and he just GG'd out. I thought that was a bit premature. What do you guys think about that one?
Yeah, well, EGIdra pulls out prematurely, and yes, that's a very fun joke. But it's nevertheless true. He does it all the time. And yes, you could argue that if you make the decision that the game is over, you should quit. But if you're an entertainer, if you do this for a living and people watch you and pay money to do so because they want a good show, you shouldn't be such a whiny kid about it, and you should stay in there and give them that little extra grit.
That's my point. He was doing a show match. This was labeled as a show match, and he didn't even try to empty his supply. He just gave up. I mean, I can understand if he's in a tournament scene where he doesn't want to waste the energy and effort and get even more tilted, but this is a show match with 1,500 on the line, and he doesn't even attempt to empty his supply out.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't understand that part.
I would just like to add just a couple of details. I'm not going to dwell much about the matches. Everyone watched them. They don't need me to be analyzing everything, every little detail, and I don't like to do it. I would just like to mention that EGIdra faced Jinro, and I think that Jinro is really strong at the moment, really
no
solid.
Doubt.
A thing that
unbreakable.
I already made some comments about this on some forums and chats and so on, that there is, in my opinion, a fairly clear difference between EGIdra and Jinro on their background. I mean, what I mean by this is the way they prepare. Jinro is on the OGS house. He has huge partners to practice with them every day. EGIdra is on his own in Korea, not now anymore, or at least he's going to head back to the US. Apparently he ladders a lot, and I'm assuming that he has a couple of partners to practice, but they're not even public. So I'm not assuming that his partners will be IEM MVP and OGS MC, as you might imagine.
I thought he practiced with Liquid Ret a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's out of friendship, and I'm pretty sure that when Liquid Red has his schedule set to play on the OGS house 12 hours a day, EGIdra might come up for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and have a couple of games with him, but that's it. I cannot picture Red going to the coach to OGS to win, for example. Oh, wait, I'm playing with EGIdra, so you're going to have to wait a bit. That doesn't work like that. And what I mean by this is, stability-wise, I think that Jinro has a lot more than EGIdra has. Like, Jinro can sit down, and he has OGS MC there, has Red, has Huck, has all the OGS guys, Zinio, The Wind, whatever. He has a solid partner group there to practice with. EGIdra, not really. And I think that EGIdra just got his match. What I mean by this is, until the point that Jinro actually moved to Korea and started playing on the GSL, you had EGIdra, who was really solid, and then you had, for a while, a contestant, TLO. TLO was there, and people were thinking that he was good enough. And from then on, TLO moved, got back into Europe, Jinro showed up, and all of a sudden you have just Jinro blooming and boosting his way up on the ladder, or not the ladder, on the rankings on GSL. And I guess that at this point, it shows you the difference between someone that has a really big organization behind him, a really strong group of practice partners, and EGIdra, which I think is a bit isolated there, you know, like, or Evil Geniuses makes a house there and drags his players there, or they had to get some protocol, some deal with Incredible Miracle or some other team to have EGIdra practicing with them, or the third option is grab EGIdra, take him out of there, let's make our own league. Maybe that's it.
Which is happening.
Yeah, but I mean, this is all from the top of my head. I didn't spoke with anyone, and this is just rumors. I don't have any confirmation of this. I just understand that might be harder for EGIdra to get solid at this point than Jinro, because Jinro has a lot of things backing him up. There's a lot going on behind the curtain, you know, and on EGIdra's side, I think there's not even a curtain. He's just sitting there trying to practice with the guys that he knows. Right. That's basically it. Also, as you guys know, there's several players that don't like EGIdra that much, and I'm pretty sure it won't be easy for him to get some Korean practice partners to play like frequently. He probably play with a couple of guys occasionally, and basically what he does is he's so high on his ranking in the ladder, he just keeps laddering and hoping to find the big guys. That's it.
Well, when you BM half the ladder, I guess nobody wants to be your practice partner.
Yeah. Okay, so move on to the...
what were you saying, Sebastian? Go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just had this cool one-liner where I wanted to say that he needs to evolve or die. Again. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up with the NASL.
Yep.
Yeah. Huge event. At least what is shown on paper, it's pretty huge. 400,000 over 3 seasons. 100K every season, it's pretty big in my modest opinion. Commentators, there's already 3 that were revealed, but more to come. Starting on April the 5th and end sometime in July. So fairly long, several months, going to be pretty cool. They're going to have an interesting configuration on the way they organize the tournament, which will be you start with an online tournament, and then when it gets to the final bit, you transition into a physical LAN in California, which obviously, as you might imagine, having so much money, such a big prize pool at stake, I think they're just playing safe and doing the right thing. You cannot have the tournament going to the finals all online. I mean, you can't imagine what people are doing at home, at least to try to get the 100K. And, well, there's a lot of people voting. They already have a website set up, all nice and dandy, and you can vote on the players that you would like to see on the NASL TV. They cannot promise or confirm that because you voted that player, he's going to be there. Like, you cannot vote IEM MVP for the rest of your life and assume that he's going to be there.
That's not an official way to get the players in. I believe it's just like They're just
It's
trying to
like
get some statistics so far.
Yeah, and it's showing like, okay, who are your favorites? Let's see if you can get some of these guys. Hopefully you're going to have North Americans and Europeans there, and probably some Koreans, because I read some posts on PlayXP. By the way, for the ones that don't know what PlayXP is, it's the biggest website in the whole world related with StarCraft 2. And yes, it owns Team Liquid on users and all of that. It's like the biggest monster ever. I mean, it's Chinese, so yeah. But they had some comments there with Korean pro gamers, saying that they would like to go to the NASL. They want to go. They really feel excited about it. And obviously that's good news, because it's going to add up to the North Americans and Europeans. And we might have one of the biggest events ever if properly organized. And things seem to be heading that way. Sebastian.
Well, I think you sum it up fairly nicely. I believe this is great. And yes, as we alluded to earlier, the cast we saw from Gretorp, who's there to make In Control look good rather than anything else, I'd like to say.
He has solid input. He needs more charisma.
I know. I think he will grow into the role. And they also recruited commentator Diggity, who's really old school and really good at what he does. So that will be a treat. Roger, you should emigrate to America and get a job there.
Yes. Roger, go Roger for shoutcasting on NASL.
Anything for agreencard.com. Now, this is a very promising event. You see something really solid, grown from the roots of the community, coming out of the woodwork, and bringing something more to the scene. This will be better than MLG, and at least on par with IEM. I believe better than that as well when it gets going a couple of seasons, because it has the credentials, and it is attached to the community by the hip. It's just a very promising thing for anyone interested in StarCraft, be that as a viewer, as a player, or someone who wants to get into the organizing or the broadcasting of it. Like us, like any one of you watching, this creates opportunity. So I'm very positive, very eager, and for me it will be worth every penny.
Right. And the money is definitely there, and I believe I remember reading or hearing In Control on a State of the Game or something saying that the prize pool is going to have a pretty good spread, unlike in GSL where the money is near the very top. There's going to be more chance for money making in this in the NASL.
Yeah, they have listened to the community.
Pardon?
They have listened to the community and
taken on exactly. 400K is nothing to sneeze at, so definitely some money backing this organization here.
Yeah, and also some experienced guys. From what I read, there's a guy very experienced on video producing and show producing, guys related with Hollywood and such. So,
right.
So I'm pretty sure they're just they have the knowledge, the know-how, and probably the financial capability of backing this up.
Yeah.
Also, as you might imagine, this is going to have some huge sponsors behind it. They're still not announced, or at least that I know of, but they will be announced. And those 400K will come out from one of those huge sponsors. I can't imagine now, to be honest, but there's some massive companies in the US that I'm pretty sure would like to grab this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Word.
Yep.
Okay, so
all right, guys.
I think we should just wrap it up.
So I need to get going.
Go, Sebastian. Have fun.
Hold on. Just quick shout outs to everybody who showed up on the show today. Thanks everybody for being patient. Even though my internet has been a bit sketchy, I'm here live streaming on spring break, but doing the best I can. Thanks Hydra and Sebastian for showing up again, and everybody. Check out Hydra's Shoutcasts on YouTube. I have the links up on the live stream window. And if you're listening to this on podcast, his channel is XHydraX on YouTube. And check out Sebastian as well. His channel is Polygon Review. And both do great work. And thanks a lot, guys, for showing up. Any last words?
You're more than welcome. Thank you once again for having me here, and I'm just ready for next week.
Yeah, next week will be a lot better, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, see ya.
All right, thanks everybody, and don't forget to rate us on iTunes, and check out the podcast on iTunes, and boost our thread on Team Liquid and spread your word to your friends. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and GG.
GG and out.